America, California, all the states, up to Hawaii and all over the world. Vinny Chopra here and BeauEckstein, my brother, right here with Vinney and Beau Show. We come live to you at the new time starting 2023. It's going to be 9 a.m. Friday, every Friday. Again, thank you for joining, and we want to thank our guests today also.
And then eventually, Mike doesn't know much about Vinny probably, but Vinny's a big apartment guy, so Vinny will probably talk you into becoming a multifamily syndicator and raising hundreds of $1 million and buying apartment complexes. But welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show, brother. Well, hello, America and the universe. This is Vinny Chopra. This is Vinney and Beau Show. We come live to you 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern, and in the middle, Mountain Zone and all that. Brother Beau is here, and we got a great guest. Amit Chandan is here. Chandan in Indian language is Chandan the Mehak, the fragrance. And that's what we're going to really talk about today is the fragrance of financial education. Get ready, boot it down. It's going to be a fantastic show today. So we're going to have fun. Beau, brother, how are you, bro? What's happening?
Doing well. Another great day, another Friday. Very excited. I just read that the Oakland A's are now moving to Las Vegas. So now we have the Raiders.
I know. They just bought the land. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Las Vegas is going to be the mecca. We're going to get a national basketball team too. So
yes,
it was smart. I can't believe it hasn't been done before because like this is where everybody flies into. So it's getting more exciting out here in Las Vegas.
I love it, brother. I would love to come there more. I might be coming there to do a very big presentation. I'm doing 2 presentations with Brother Craig Shaw over there in San Francisco. Over the weekend, it's going to be rocking. I was at Ritz-Carlton last week with Brother Craig, and we raised $25 million. $25 million in one day. So it's just kicking in high gear. And let me go ahead and introduce a very, very good friend, Amitji from Ottawa. Amitji, welcome. How are you?
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for having me on the show, Vinney and Beau. What amazing energy you guys have and what amazing work you guys have been doing. I've been absolutely floored when I first got in touch with Mr. Vinney and saw the energy and the kind of things he's doing. And thank you so much for bringing me on your channel and helping me spread the word, because I'm also trying to do something valuable for the world. I want to pass on a legacy, and thank you for being a part of that.
Oh my gosh. Let me just kind of take a little bit of time. Everybody, please tell us and chat with us. Put your name if you'd like, who you are, from what state or city or country you're calling or texting us, and spread the word. Send this notification to your friends so they could also ask questions from the guest and so on. Amit Chandan, actually, before joining Palm Team, Amit Chandan was a management consultant who worked with Canadian federal government and also managed over 40 businesses and technology projects. Being a consultant, Amit did not have an employer sponsorship retirement plan. Retirement plan. Everybody watch that word right there. Did not have employment, plan. So he wanted to learn how to invest and prepare for his retirement. That's what we talk about, retiring and cash flows and all those things. And for 20 different trades courses, he went to Cornell University, and also independently Amit acquired his own knowledge in the late 30s and become one of the most powerful compounding effect. We talked about that too, brother, right, Beau? And therefore he's extremely passionate about sharing the investment knowledge to the world, with the world. So you are in for a big treat. Welcome, Amiji. So tell us your superpower. Tell us a little bit your humble beginnings and then where you are now.
So Vinny, I actually have I come from very humble beginnings. I come from India. I came here when I was in grade 9 in Canada and went through the regular schooling system. My parents were immigrants. They had to do their regular, entry-level jobs. My
Mhm.
father is a trained veterinarian, but he couldn't get his license because of the typical struggles that that immigrants go through. And then he had to do whatever he could to make the ends meet. But what he did provide to us was value and stability in the house. My mom was a housemaker, and they still live together. And they basically suggested and enforced the values of family and education. Keep fast forwarding, I ended up getting my engineering degree from the University of Ottawa. But when I graduated, the market was not doing very well. This was back in 2002, 2003. Anyways, I struggled, tried to find work here and there, and then started doing management consulting with the government, because Ottawa is a national capital region of Canada. So I started doing management consulting with the federal government. And then I had the opportunity of going and doing my MBA. But soon after finishing my master's in the university, when I started working back as a management consultant, I realized that, yes, my age is progressing. I now have kids, but I have no retirement plan. How do I secure a retirement? So I started procuring a couple properties. I own a duplex and all that, et cetera, et cetera. But my cash flow wasn't that fantastic. So I thought, what do I do? But I remember some of my finance courses in Cornell when I was in Ithaca in New York. I was like, okay, maybe I need to start looking into those. And that led to me starting to develop an interest in learning about investments in the equity world, in the stock market, because I realized like millions of dollars are being made on a daily basis and millions of individuals are participating in this industry. So how do you do it? So I took well over 20 courses and whatnot. And what it led to was I met a whole bunch of people in that process. But while I was doing that, I was practicing investments and trading, I started to see my wealth grow. And it grew so rapidly to a point that within a few years, I came to a point where I no longer had to work. I was basically financially independent. So I was like, okay, well, that's kind of cool. What do I do? And the people that I had met during my training journey, we basically I talked to them. We all discussed it, like, why don't we start something that other people can use? Because people were asking us that, hey, can you invest my money too? But we can't do that because you can't invest other people's money, right? That's illegal.
Yes.
So we thought, okay, well, why don't we look into something different? And I remember in my MBA, I read a case on a hedge fund. No, I had no idea what these were. So we started studying. I brought the opportunity to my team members. We had a large team of 15, 16 people. And 6 of us said, yeah, this kind of sounds interesting. Let's learn more. And I don't think anybody really knew much about it other than having read here or there. So it took us several months to develop an understanding and kind of refine the idea. And then we started with that. Okay, well, we basically ended up creating an investment management company. And we also ended up getting commitments from individuals. We started investing and the hedge fund started to do very well. But as I was investing, as we were developing the hedge fund or growing the hedge fund, it occurred to us that everybody doesn't have the net worth to invest in an alternative investment, right? Because SEC has requirement. You got to be an accredited investor and whatnot. But everybody is not. So I thought, I'm an Ivy League grad. I didn't know how to invest. So I'm an educated person. I didn't know how to invest. Why should this knowledge of investment only be hidden to these individuals who work in the industry? Like in Canada, we have the Bay Street. In the US, we have the Wall Street. Why is it that only these people should know? Why should everybody not know about this? And then I also regularly felt that, what is my purpose of being on this planet? I got to do something. And I don't know if I really figured out a purpose, but I thought, there is something I can give back to the community. So what would that be? I said, why don't I give financial knowledge to people? Right? Just really from an education point of view, no strings attached, because there's so much money to be made in the markets.
Yeah.
And even what you do, Mr. Chopra, which is in real estate, there's so much money to be made.
Yes.
It makes no sense for me to go and tell somebody, hey, give me $100 and I'll teach. Like, I don't need that. So I said, let me deliver this knowledge free of charge with no strings attached. Whoever wants to learn. If they don't want to learn, no problem. So with the help of my team members, we created a nonprofit organization. We registered it in Texas, in the US, and it's called Palm Team Foundation. And I started delivering bi-weekly webinars, plus a comprehensive training that I have decided to deliver every quarter. So what started happening was people started to join us.
Mm-hmm.
And I've delivered 2 of those comprehensive trainings. And starting this year, I decided to deliver every 2 weeks, which is on Wednesdays, a webinar, a live webinar I deliver on something in the stock market. I would either share the what's going on in the market, or I would pick a stock and do a deep analysis, a deep dive, or a case study of what is going on behind the scenes. We even coined a term called fact analysis, which is basically an acronym that shows that if you're trying to analyze a company, just go through financial analysis, figure out what's the advantage over competition, calculate the intrinsic value, which is the fair market value of a stock, and then finally do technical analysis to figure out when to invest. And then I taught a separate course during my comprehensive training, which is on portfolio management. Because what happens is majority of investors are called retail investors. So majority of the investors lose money because they wait for tips from market gurus, or they go to a bar and somebody says, hey man, let's go invest in this because it's the next biggest shiny thing. That's absolutely berserk, because people end up putting their hard-earned money into stocks or companies that have poor financial performance. Just the way when you look at, when you analyze a real estate deal, right? You look at the cash flow, how has that been doing in the last little while? Same thing. Open up the financial statements, because these are publicly traded companies. They all have their financial statements submitted to the SEC, which is the Security and Exchange Commission of US. You can open these statements up for free, read the information, and it'll tell you. And I freely open up so many popular companies to my team, to my followers, and I say, look at this. You want to invest in this company? Net income, negative. Operating cash flow, negative. Revenue, negative. Debt's heavy. Why are you investing? I don't get it. And people are like, oh my goodness, I never thought of it like that. Right? So that's what I'm doing. And I really appreciate you giving me the platform to further spread the word, because guys, you don't have to have thousands of dollars to invest. You can begin investing with just $500. And I'll also give you another, Mr. Chopra, another great example. We are already making a difference in people's lives. With, like I said, I want to do something. We're already making a difference. Last year, a 14-year-old boy, or a good boy, I would call him because he's so
young man,
Dallas, started following us. And he started following us, and he started listening to my lectures. And later last year, he contacted me, goes, Mr. Chandan, I really like what you're doing. I'd like to do something too, to help you. I said, first of all, did you understand what I was teaching? He goes, yes. I said, do you understand options that I've been teaching? He goes, yes. I'm like, okay. What do you want to do? He goes, how about we create a course for people my age? I said, great, let's do it. So I worked with this young boy who's now 15. Not only does he have his own portfolio of stocks now, he, just on April 1 and 2, when I delivered my second comprehensive training, he was the first guy to come present. Now picture this, a 14 or 15-year-old kid who has figured out how to look into and purchasing stocks, how to use options, how to do portfolio management. This boy is 20 years ahead of his peers.
Wow.
Like here, if I didn't have this nonprofit and this opportunity to reach out to individuals, I would have never connected with this guy.
For sure.
So in essence, when I'm able to make an impact in somebody's life, this is phenomenal. Now, mind you, now there are a lot of older people too. I even have people in their 50s and 60s who now phone me and say, Amit, I'm now unlearning all the bad habits and relearning. Thank you. I'm like, hey, you're welcome. Thank you.
I love it. I can just hear the passion and the drive and the gumption that you want to really educate. So you have a YouTube channel, as I understand, and you are able to uploading everything, just like Khan Academy. You are Chandan Academy for finance.
Palm Team Foundation, yes. I mean, it's not mine, but in essence, whatever webinars I do, I just kind of record it and throw it up on the YouTube. Now,
and
we don't have a lot of
webinars or long. Well, I mean, shorter clips and how can people really follow you? And are you putting them in different playlists or something? It's called, right?
Yeah. Just go to our YouTube channel, or search for Palm Team Foundation. Palm as the palm tree, team as a team, not a tree, and foundation as whatever, right? So search for Palm Team Foundation on YouTube. You'll get us. Our website address is palmteamfoundation.org.
Beautiful.
Just come and the palmteamfoundation.org, which is our website, is basically it's a site built on a platform that can offer training courses. So my training courses are free. Go there and watch. Like, this is my several years of knowledge that I put together, and I'm just sharing it with people. And I got people from all over the world. Like, somebody from Malaysia contacted me, gave me a testimonial. We have people giving us testimonials from UK, USA. Like, it's been a phenomenal opportunity because I live in a small city in, Canada. Canada's a great country, but still I'm quite far away from my followers. Yet when I have individuals contacting me from so far away, it's like, hey, I could have never done that. Honest to God, I'm just a normal person. I go to grocery store, I pick up my kids, but through this channel of web, this technology that's enabled us, and something of value that I'm providing at free cost, no strings attached.
Love that.
I'm finding people are finding value because it's worked for me. It's worked for my team members. I know it'll work for everybody. Just follow the method.
Excellent, brother Beau.
And you know how much work it requires, Beau and Vinney? I don't know, like 10 minutes every week. That's it. And it's a game of your mind. As long as you know the psychology and know some mathematics, you can do it.
Yes,
anybody can do it.
For sure.
I don't need to go to a site. I don't need to talk to any contractor. I just know that the top 1% of the companies perform really well. I just need to know how to find those.
Let me kind of interrupt you there. I mean, so what's your secret formula? You are able to get all the data, which is public knowledge on a company, but then you have certain steps that you go through, check, and then you figure out in very easy way or hard way that you want to invest. There are how many companies are there, by the way, in Wall Street now?
4,000 or so. There are a lot of companies,
of course,
a lot of publicly listed companies.
Surely,
right? And S&P 500 has 500 companies.
Correct.
But you know what? Only 20% of the companies impact the 80% of the growth of the stock market. What you got to do,
80-20,
put some energy, go find good quality companies. And these good quality companies are not difficult to find. Just think about a company like, okay, in this industry, who's the market leader? Because if I'm given a choice to be, let's say somebody tells me, Amit, I want you to be able to become a partner in any company you like for free, right? I'll just give you an example. And they give you a company that is, give you a buffet of companies. You will immediately start to say, I like that company, I like this company because of, this is a market leader, undisputed king.
Yeah.
So go with the undisputed kings. And the thing is, you already know. But then when you couple that with this term that we have coined, which is a fact analysis. So I teach you how to look at the financial statement, balance sheet, income statement, cash flow statement. Very few things. Look at, you can immediately tell how a company is doing.
Yep.
Then think, what is the advantage this company has over its competition? Because the financials are inevitably going to deteriorate if a company doesn't maintain an advantage over its competition. And honestly, you don't have to be a rocket scientist. Do a little bit of research and you can find that information. Then calculate intrinsic value. This is something people go to MBA to learn. Right? But we have created simple Excel tools. You plug in the numbers that I tell you, and it'll automatically give you the fair market value of a stock, of almost any stock, as long as it meets the fact analysis. Because cash flow from operations has to be growing, net income has to be growing, blah, blah, blah. All that is taught. And it's not that complex.
So let me ask you a question. I know in the past I've got some courses and all that, and it says the red arrow up and the green arrow up and the red arrow down. I remember my wife and I paid $2,500 for that course. We didn't do anything with it, right? So what's your recipe? How are you able to determine some great stocks? And then in your portfolio, which is again 506B, we can't talk about it.
We can't talk about the fund at all.
It's for family and friends, offering only, because that's what I do. Family and friends, and I do 506Cs now, accredited investors, where I can talk about everything. So no, that's good. Brother Beau, what kind of questions come on your mind, bro?
Yeah, no, this is interesting. I've never been a stock person, to be honest with you. I've always been a real estate person. And I always wanted, I always just invested for the wrong reasons when I bought stocks, and I always lost money.
Buy high, sell low, right?
That's what ends up happening to most of the people.
But I am interested.
I
I
want to
do.
declare Tesla went down 10% yesterday. I said, "Holy cow! I made good money on Tesla. I believe in the stock. I'm just not asking anybody to buy it, but I bought quite a bit of Tesla yesterday. 10% down. That's pretty darn good, Anyway,
Yeah, but if you took the course, you'd really figure out what the actual value is. So basically, if we look at this is just like underwriting a multifamily property or a deal, right? Like
right, right.
we all have principles of underwriting, and the problem with
Yes,
most people are they don't have any principles for stock investing, like myself.
yeah,
And so, like now, I was just thinking, God, like I want to start researching because I know, first of all, I know artificial intelligence is the biggest thing since sliced bread since the internet. So how do I
yes.
go and research these AI companies that are trading in public? Maybe they do something within the AI business because I want to invest in something like that because I'm looking for emerging stocks, but also back the fundamentals. So
So,
how would I do this?
so first of all, Beau, let me tell you, when I invest in a company, right? When I invest in a company, my philosophy is that I'm an investor. I'm not a trader. I won't tell you how many people, even experienced investors I deal with, they have no clue what the difference is between investing and trading. Investing is like buying a house. You look at the fundamentals. You want to know the location. You want to know what the foundation is like, what kind of heating it has, etc., etc. But trading is in and out, quick, in, out, in, out, in, out. Trading is like going to a hotel. You just want to know, hey, is the price right? And does it have a bed? And is it in a decent location? I'm going to go
Does it
in and out.
come with
You don't care about
breakfast?
the fundamentals.
In the morning, good breakfast. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. In and out. That's what you care. So investing is like buying a house. You're in it for a long term. And when you buy an investment, you basically become a part owner in that company. And you want to be part owners in the world's best companies. And how do you determine the world's best company? Sure, there are fundamentals, but very simple thing. I want the company to have existed for 5 to 10 years. I want the company to have had a revenue, a continuously growing revenue. Every year, its revenue's got to grow. If 1 year it's a small dip, okay, I'm not going to care about that. But overall, it's going to be fantastic,
Yeah, fantastic.
linear or an exponential curve. I want the net income to be growing. And if the net income is not growing, the operating income has to be growing. I want to see the cash flow from operations up. I want to see the free cash flow. Anyways, these are things that I teach, and their ratios have to be good. What you just mentioned, you both, you got to figure out that when you invest, what are you really hoping? Do you want to just make a quick buck, or do you want to see a successful growth in your investment while lowering your risk? If that's the case, if you want to lower your risk, then you got to pick up companies, not the shiniest object that somebody's just come up with, because shiny objects keep coming up. Right now it's AI. So soon it's going to be something else. And mind you, Chat GPT is not the only game in town. Google's been heavy at it. Microsoft's been heavy at it. Adobe's been heavy at it. Salesforce been heavy at it. But what they've done is they've used artificial intelligence to apply to their own business model, as opposed to a generic model. So these other companies that I've just mentioned, they've been very stable. Look at their revenue. But if you look at a company that, I'll just say some ABC company, very hot, shiny, knight in shiny armor, something comes up. Look at their financial statement. Negative everything, negative this, negative that, stocks going down, and people are investing. I don't get it. Things are going to lose your cash. So now, other thing is, well, when you invest, you can also, it's very important to manage your portfolio. So you have a portfolio of, let's say, 20 companies, not stocks. Like I like to call them companies because I want to be part owners in a company. You want to have 20 stocks. So if you divide 100 by 20, that means you have 5% allocation. So if one company goes down by 50%, guess what? You're only impacted by 2.5%. Rest of the market is going to be okay. So you diversify your risk. Whereas in real estate, when you have, you talk about multifamily, I watch your videos. You have 50 doors in that house. One is not rented. Oh, okay, no big deal. Same thing in stock market. But stock market is going to give you a decent return. Why do I say that? Because S&P 500 since the year 1900 has given 10.04% return, and Nasdaq, which is a basket, it's an index with a basket of stocks that are, or companies that are technology focused, has given a compounded annual growth rate of 14%. If you are able to pick companies that have consistently beaten these companies, and they're not difficult to find, well, you should do fine. But to further diversify your risk, create a portfolio. I teach about that. How do you make sure that you are managing your risk? Because that portfolio management that I talk about, Majority of the retail investors, which is like 95, 96%, they put the least amount of time in portfolio management. And the successful investors and institutional investors put the most amount of time in portfolio management. Right?
I don't want to compare the portfolio manager, but something just dawned on me. I think there was a study where they were saying random picks of the stocks, from financial consultants, I think, and also maybe I don't know who else was doing, and they were able to see the results were the same. I don't know what that study was. I'm sorry, I don't remember.
I've also seen that study. That if you randomly select stocks, yes, you'll do the same as the S&P 500.
Yes.
But what I'm trying to teach is ignore randomness. Ignore randomness, because you can be smart. This is your hard-earned money. If a person comes to me, and again, let me put myself as an individual who just knows a bit of investment. I'm also a student. Like I'm not Warren Buffett.
Sure.
I'm also a student. But if you know, if I know a little bit of investments, I can say this is your hard-earned money. You may have $10,000. Be smart about investing. Don't throw it in the garbage. Now, let me flip this around. There's nothing wrong with investing in the most shining armor that comes up. But what you do is in your portfolio is say 90% of my stocks are going to be in fantastic companies.
Yes.
Maybe 10% I'm going to distribute among what's called speculative companies.
Yep.
Knight in shining armor. And if one goes down, it doesn't matter. So you can take that 10%, divide it in 10 companies. So 1%, 1% each. If something goes great, fantastic. If something doesn't go great, hey, you're still going to be able to sleep at night.
I love that. Love that. Love that. Thank you so much giving us great content, Amitji. It's such a pleasure. Again,
Thank
everybody watching us, and we'll be making podcasts and reels and shorts. So as you just watch this, please share, comment, like, and tell us what kind of guests you would like us to get. We try to do this show for about half an hour so that we can really make it crisp and clean and everything. Again, this is Vinney and Beau Show. We come live to you every Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon. Please put reminders on, or you put it on the best thing to do is on your iPhone or your Android. Just say Vinney and Beau Show and reoccur every Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific, and it's going to be there for the whole year. It will remind you, and you just come to your channel, YouTube channel, LinkedIn channel, or Facebook channel, wherever you are, because we go into 14 different channels live every Friday, 9 a.m. And when I travel, of course, sometimes the time difference wise, I don't show up, but Brother Beau is going to have, the guests and all that. Amitji, how can people reach you?
Very easy. You can actually just Google, put my name Amit Chandan in Google, or just go to Palm Team Foundation. It's www.palmteamfoundation.org.
Beautiful.
And I'm there. You can connect with me. Then you can go to LinkedIn. You can watch any of her YouTube videos. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on LinkedIn.
Awesome.
Like, I'm there, guys.
Awesome. No, thank you so much for contributing so much. And I hope lots of people will be flocking to the website. Please subscribe. Go to YouTube. I love to learn. I'm a big proponent of Google and YouTube, and now ChatGPT. I mean, it's just changing my life. I know it's going to change yours. Brother Beau, any last comments, bro?
No, I just think it's good. Most of the people that probably watch this are more real estate, but I think it's diversification, right? We should be learning these skills because, 10 or 20% of our, assets should be allocated to stocks, even though we're not stock people. We should learn these trades so we'd be well balanced. We can understand that, those dynamics help with our dynamics. When we see what's going on in the stock market with our companies that we own, little pieces of all these companies, I started doing a lot of different diversification, and I really enjoy it. So I will go and watch and really understand why I'm buying this company. Why am I buying this company? Is this company actually profitable, right?
Yes.
Are they losing money?
Yeah.
Is just people buying the buzz, right? And that's, I think, the important thing. And then, look at it as a business, right? And take it seriously. I think a lot of us we have a little bit of extra cash lying around and we put it into something, and we're not taking it serious like a business. But what happens over time when this compounds and you're making 10 or 14% returns? And then, all of a sudden you're put, $1,000 a month going into this trading account that you're not trading your usually holding longer term. So I think it makes a lot of sense for us. As like this year, I started doing a lot of different things. I'm investing in notes. I'm investing in different real estate assets, and businesses and things. Right now, I should learn the stock piece too. I'll be well-rounded.
Beau,
Awesome.
come. I'd be happy to share this knowledge with you.
Oh, that's so great. So great, Amitji. Thank you again, guys. Hey, next week, guest speaker is a peak performance coach. I just interviewed her yesterday. She's flying all the way. She got so impressed. I got impressed with her. She got impressed with me. She's flying today, actually, to be at the seminar in San Francisco. She's a peak performance coach. Miss Gonzalez is going to be our guest speaker next Friday. So don't miss it. It's going to be a fantastic show. See you next week. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you. Take care.
Happy to be on your show finally.
I'm a long-time fan and I watch all your guys' content.
It's awesome. We're very, very, very invested in our community.
It's wonderful to be here.
This is Vinney Chopra and also my good buddy, BeauEckstein. And we are so happy.
It's amazing what's going to happen. So we ramped up to do the show, and we got a lot of hype about the guest today. So I'm excited.
I know. So excited to come live to you all. Live 9:30 every Friday. How to take your business to the next